some action. Better question, is anyone ever not ready for action? I didn't think so. We see it throughout college football every year, and we're lucky to have it again here. Glad to have you with us from Dick Stadium in Kent, Ohio, home to the Golden Flashes of Kent State. As we'll see a squad from the MAC, the Central Michigan Chippewas. Squaring off with another team from the MAC, the Kent State Golden Flashes. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. The Chippewas will put total leather to crank us up. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Kent State's offense will get first crack at it today. And David, we'll see whether this running back has the ability to elevate his game and really become a star in this offense.
Yeah, he's still developing. You know, I think when you watch him, you say, oh, he's still learning the vision and how to play the running back spot. And I think you leave Jesse going, I want a little bit more. I want more consistency, more big plays, so this offense can really take off.
I think the coaching staff, I think the fans know for the future of this program, they need to upgrade at the position. They'll try to do that in recruiting or the portal. But for right now, today, this guy has to be able to make plays when his opportunities show up.
And the Golden Flashes, now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They'll leave it with him. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22. Let's talk for a second about Kent State. Great pickup on the defensive front. 3-star defensive lineman gives a verbal commitment last week, and you really need to bring good talent into the program. Maybe diamonds in the rough. At this level, that's how they thrive.
Oh, there's no doubt. And just some of these guys, they're not as refined, but they've got the tools, right? And so I think he's got the tools, and this is a guy that you can build around that defensive line. You need all the big bodies you can get.
And I love the discipline on defense right there. Big third down. So everyone keeping their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the ball, making a tackle. Great team defense.
The Golden Flashes will punt it away on 4th down. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. His first one of the day gave that leg a workout 5 times in last week's victory. And they'll let that one go, and it'll roll out of bounds. So Central Michigan's offense will take the field for the first time. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Oh, will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards.
Encroachment defense.
Defense couldn't quite hold its water, and it'll be 5 free yards for the O. Much more manageable situation for this offense after the penalty at 2nd and 6. He'll do it himself. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. And the Chippewas will call on their punt team. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. Gets the first one of the day off, and hoping he's not as busy as he was in that loss last week when he kicked it 4 times. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
And you want to run the football, and that's okay. You'll take some of these, but if they start to add up down the road, obviously you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Rides the back and leaves it. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go.
Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
And the Golden Flashes will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. Central Michigan takes over, and we'll get another look at this offense. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Wide receiver going in motion. Leaves it with the back. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll run the option. Runs through a tackle. Nice job to keep it himself, find the first down marker, and move the change for this offense.
Well, the defense did a pretty good job that time on the option play of having someone dedicating themselves to the quarterback to get him down. Not enough to stop the offense from picking up the first down, though. The defense really needs to be keyed in on this because they're going to see this option play more and more as this game goes on.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
Ball spotted right at midfield as they try to convert 3rd and short. From the gun, running back on the move. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a 3rd down stop.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. Like, you got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster by the offensive line.
Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3 and out the last time they had the ball. They'll run this play from the pistol. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time.
Delay of game. Offense.
Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. On the double. They'll go to the air. Finds his big tight end. There he goes. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
It's hard for an offense to win when you get in predictable situations. What a great job understanding where the first down marker is. I got to get a big gain, got to get that first down. Nice job, great nose for the first down.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Playing the option, man. Consistently playing responsibility football. Nice job by the defense being where they're supposed to be. This option will just keep giving it to you over and over and over again, and you got to pass those tests.
Looking to fire. Grabs behind the line. It's Hicks. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Incomplete. He threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back. The golden flashes line up to punt it away.
Those are those where you're just looking at your hands. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Dang it, I should have caught that. Nice play, break on the football. That could have been a house call. That could have been a game changer, but just couldn't secure the interception.
Coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Central Michigan has it back. Let's see what the Chippewas can do on offense. They've sputtered a bit early, not being able to move the football, having to punt it away each of the first 2 times they had it. They'll run it from the gun. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Got it behind the line. It's Lewis. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
The Chippewas are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Back to throw. It's Labus. Gets it to him on the screen. Hard running there. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. Plays like that put just a second of hesitation in the defense to make sure, and they're able to take advantage here.
And they use the great timing with this call, right? Like, you can't call this play all the time, but you want to catch them when they're a little bit aggressive, not thinking about it. Nice job slipping the screen behind them, making the easy catch, and then getting downfield, picking up some extra yards.
Nice job by the quarterback, pre-snap and post-snap. He knew the defense was going to be playing zone coverage, and there was no doubt in his mind where he was going with that football.
And the Chippewas are marching down the field. They'll run the option. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Really good job by this defense, understanding responsibility football, playing the first option, playing the second option. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Nice job being dialed in exactly where the ball was going and how to get him to the ground.
Rides the back on the option to give. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Got it in the middle. It's McIntosh. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
Well, we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one. Defensive battle through the first period, and the stats held that tail. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm as we start the second quarter.
Okay, ready?
They've put this ball on lockdown. 8th play of the drive coming up. To the air, it's Travis. Fires toward the end zone. And he's got it! Touchdown, Central Michigan.
Can't start a game any better than that. Defense gets the stop, gives it back to the offense. You march down the field, you score. They're in a great rhythm now on both sides of the ball.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in this one in the MAC that just finished up. Northern Illinois came away with the victory today, but not in dominant fashion. In fact, the folks in Husky Stadium had to sweat things out for much of the day. Could have been better, but certainly could have been worse. A busy day in the MAC, and an outcome that figures to shuffle the deck there as we send it back to you.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
Man, when you go over the middle, you got to be willing to take the punishment. You're going to get hit a lot of times anyways, so you might as well catch the football. But his arms starting to look a little bit like Reese Davis when the check comes at dinner.
Power football with the run. Breaks into the open. Up near the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 39 to pick up a 15.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Keeps it on the bootleg, looking to throw. Fires downfield. Working that left side. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a first down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. They'll go to Garcia. Gets it past the marker. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it's hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
So now it's second and long. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. From the gun, wants to pass. Puts it out of the air. And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening.
It's now 4th and goal.
Fourth down and goal from the 3. The playbook is pretty much wide open here. Slams it ahead. Not only will he not get in, they'll stop him behind the line at the 4.
And how about the defense coming up big on 4th and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting the big stop.
Now on the option, the pitch. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
The give on the option. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice game.
Defensively, you know they're going to run it. You know they're going to try to create some space offensively and just try to run out of the goal line. So that's a frustrating one that hurts because the run game comes downhill. He gets a big gain, and now out of the own end zone. Now no safety to worry about. You can pack.
Turning it on. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
The Chippewas have it with a 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. And the 45 on his way. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line.
Wow. 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 first downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
And he never had a chance to get the pitch off on the option as he's tackled in the backfield. Put themselves in a bit of a bind, but that last one is 2nd and 14. They go to the ground. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They have work in front of them on 3rd and short from the 42. Looking for a crease. It's Townsend. Inside the 30. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. And the Chippewas, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Now the toss. How about that run as he drives it all the way down to the 13-yard line? Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. They'll move the wide receiver. He'll take it himself. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. The Chippewas are threatening on 1st and goal.
Get set, get set.
The option look. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
I love the vision on the quarterback by this defense. Dude, you know that ball's going to come out pretty quick. Down here on the goal-to-go situation, they break on the football, and they make sure they swat it down so the offensive guy can't make a play.
They rode their running back, but he could not make it. It'll be 4th down.
Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a drive down this close, I'm going for a touchdown here, Bob.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out, man. I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, they got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
No, 7 after the miss, guys. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. A really disappointing end to that last drive, David. Getting stopped on 4th and goal, they'll try to regroup.
And I think I'm preaching to my squad right now. Listen, we drove the ball down the field. We didn't just punch it in. Let's put another drive together, Jesse, and this time, let's get some points.
You're right, because there were a lot of positives on that last drive. They did a lot of things really well. They just got to do a better job finishing.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Back to pass. Got his man. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that slot receiver, he may not be the biggest receiver in the world, but he is shifty, and he runs really good routes. You saw it on that play.
And they got the completion, but still looking at a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. He's going to take off. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
And usually when a QB takes off and scrambles, it's because the defense didn't do a great job keeping lane integrity, not keeping him in the pocket, letting him get outside, and then he can do damage. And it's the next play that you have to play instead of this just the original pass. So defense has got to do a better job of keeping that guy in the pocket.
Give to the running back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. And the golden flashes, moving quickly to the line. The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. The golden flashes in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Caught in the backfield, it's Garcia. They've got him now. He almost picked up that first down on the screen.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
And the golden flashes come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Unloads quickly. That'll be enough for the first down, and they'll mark it at the 48. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Wants to throw on 1st down. Just a short pass to the tight end. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Quick completion on the out. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen is to miss inside and that cornerback be going the other direction.
He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
Coming up.
We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. So they're not comfortable with their field goal kicker from here, so the offense will go for it on 4th down. Trying to do it on the ground. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking to throw on first down. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
In the last couple weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him, getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
Dead center perfect. That'll bring him to within 4. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Men, it should come as no surprise that we have ourselves a fun matchup in Kent. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And just like that, let's send it back to the fellas at Dick's Stadium.
The golden flashes will boot it away to start the second half. The returner will field it and try to get some field position. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Central Michigan takes over, and we'll get another look at this offense. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
On the option. And maybe a wise move not to even try the pitch as he's knocked down in the backfield.
I just love the individual one-on-one effort by the defense there. Offense trying to go option, the QB keeps it, but just too many defenders winning their one-on-one battles, defeating blocks, and getting the tackle for loss.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. Third and long from inside their own 20. Trying to get behind the defense. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down.
And this offense is just, they've struggled to get in a rhythm. And I like they take a shot down the field, but interested to see how they can maybe get some easy completions for this quarterback and get him in a little bit of a rhythm.
Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. A little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most plays.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
Man, you have to do everything in your power not to let your momentum carry you out of bounds short of the first down marker.
And I would argue, too, maybe you run your route a little bit deeper. You got to understand where the first down marker is and where I got to get to. But, yeah, I'm not running out of bounds. I'm lowering my shoulder and trying to get as much yardage as I can to make this fourth down manageable.
Central Michigan has it back. Let's see what the Chippewas can do on offense. They haven't really been able to light up this scoreboard, but putting points up would be huge here. Quick pass on the fly motion. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
The short hands, it's Lewis. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
He leaves it with his back. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line, a loss of 1. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Chippewas send out the punt unit. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Team have its hands full. Well, not full because they didn't get a hand on him for quite a while. Great return there. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. These guys really need to get something going on this drive. They are still well within striking distance, but they have very little to show. Oh, he's got some space. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. And the Golden Flashes want to pick up the tempo.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come over, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game. And someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. To the air on first down. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. He's loose down the left side. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Chippewas. How about this defense taking one back to the house? Just one moment, and all of a sudden, the fortunes turn.
You're in a position where you're about to give up points, and now you flip that around and you put points on the board. Perfectly executed. What do you do in an interception? First guy blocks the intended receiver. Everybody else starts to form a wall where the ball's going. Nice blocking, nice interception, nice return for the touchdown.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point makes it 14-3. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
They've been talking about this one all week inside the MAC, guys. Let's give you a quick recap of how it went down. Ohio took care of business today. I think their coach had their attention all week, and the end result was a focused group of Bobcats that fired on all cylinders. One game, I know, fellas, but this could be one to circle when we consider the big picture there in the MAC.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Got him downfield. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. A 1st and 10 for this offense. Snagged out of the air. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. The golden flashes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking, more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
The throw to the outside is complete. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
No touchdowns yet, but that may change very soon after that long completion by the offense. Really great route, and a nice job looking that one in. He set his offense up now in the red zone. They're looking to score some points.
From the red zone, looking for a receiver. A strike downfield. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And that ball is intercepted at the goal line. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Well, coming out of the tunnel in the 3rd quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the 3rd quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the 1st half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
Central Michigan takes over, and we'll get another look at this offense. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse. Fighting to get it out of the end zone, and I don't think he made it. He did not. It's a safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field. They got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
After giving up the safety, they'll have to kick it away. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room.
Returner is tackled down at the 34. And your Kent State Golden Flashes will take
Here comes the offense onto the field again. Motion from the wideout. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the 1st half. Man, you're starting to get now in the 2nd half, and this offense just has really, really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the 3rd quarter.
Time running out, and he goes down at the 34. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Central Michigan has it back. Let's see what the Chippewas can do on offense. And the last time they had the ball, they wound up giving up a safety, Jesse.
Yeah, that was ungood the last time they had the ball. So they got to do something here offensively to get into a rhythm, running and throwing the football. Try to find that consistency.
And try to find something positive with this offense. Forget about the safety. Those don't happen very often. Try to get some 1st downs together. Get some good mojo going.
On the option. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And the The defense did a great job taking the first option away and bringing the quarterback down behind the line.
Look, they haven't been able to get much going, but do you think you could have pitched it late there?
I think you try, but once you get in that area of gray where you don't know whether you want to pitch it and you're going to get tackled, you don't want to fumble the football, and you gotta eat it.
And that's a nice sigh of relief for the defense, too, right? There was a broken tackle. The guy made it look like he was going to pick up the first, but because of great effort defensively, they were able to get the stop, and now they're setting up fourth down.
Fields the punt and tries to help improve that field position. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. Didn't get anything done, 3 and out on their last series. They'll try to find a rhythm here. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they've built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
He'll try to do it himself. There he goes. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself. And
strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. And the Golden Flashes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to pass. Pressure coming. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Well, I think you're seeing a lot of resiliency from this quarterback these last couple of plays. Got sacked on first down. It's 2nd in California. And that last scramble, I know it didn't get the first, but it at least makes this 3rd down a whole lot more manageable now. Let's see if he can make a play here and keep his offense on the field.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And I like the defense being aggressive. They heated up that RPO. He didn't even give him time to read it. I'm getting in the backfield right now, making a play, being aggressive, bringing the fight to the offense.
They booted away. And no chance for the return man to get his hands on that one as it hops out of bounds. Central Michigan takes over, and we'll get another look at this offense. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Using his legs, it's Townsend. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And the defense was locked in. You could tell they saw it. They reacted right away. Got the running back on the ground immediately.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. The give to the tailback. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run. Not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Makes the catch. He stopped right at the 22, and that'll bring us to 4th down. The Chippewas will punt this one away. They'll be forced to kick for the 6th time tonight. Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the 3rd quarter comes to a close. We've come to the end of the quarter, guys, and Central Michigan has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. They'll start this drive going to the air. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The Golden Flashes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
And this has been the story of the night. The offensive line getting beat up. And this is why this team is losing. You got to protect your quarterback. This defense has had a field day with their 5th sack of the game.
A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Central Michigan has it back. Let's see what the Chippewas can do on offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. They make the stop, and this running game moves the chains as they get the first down.
And how about the QB? We haven't seen it all game long, man. Nice job coming up big in a big moment in the 4th quarter. He says, nobody there, takes off, does it with his feet, and gets the first down.
They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Right there to stop him, and that'll be a loss of 3.
I hate being that guy to say just take a dive, don't take a hit. But when the play is going absolutely nowhere, you might think about it.
First, do no harm, right? And you've already been harmed, so just don't make it worse.
Don't take it.
Fires deep toward the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
We've seen this offense click and hum, and it's not clicking, and something's a little bit off, and I like the deep shot down the field. At least it was an interception, but they got to find a way in this to manufacture some first downs and some passing yards, because everything's been difficult today.
They booted away on 4th down. And a precision punt there will pin them deep inside their own 10-yard line. Guys, let's see how it goes this time for the Kent State offense. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They got to put a drive together and get some...
Breaks into the open. Passes takes him still on his feet. Shoved out of bounds right at the 35-yard line in the running game, getting the job done. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Golden Flashes just got that huge run. They'd love another explosive play. Looking to throw on 1st down. Finds the tight end. And an absolutely fearless tackle. Giving up size, still got him on the turn. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. Running to the left. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Quarterback floating away from pressure. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Golden Flashes decide to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. Central Michigan takes over, and we'll get another look at this offense. They've punted the last 3 times they've had it, and now really needing to put a score on the board on this possession. after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. And the Chippewas can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Here comes the option. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time. They're able to make a quick stop.
And he left the first defender grabbing at air before he was finally tackled. The Chippewas will snap it on 1st and 10.
2-9 Philly.
Leaves it with the back. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast. They force a negative play.
They'll try the run. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a 1st down.
And there's nothing more demoralizing for a defense than when you're losing, you know they're going to run the football. They're trying to run the clock, and you can't stop them. They've got to be more aggressive, bring more guys to the line of scrimmage. They've got to stop this ground game and get the ball back.
Well, he couldn't find any running room at all, and he'll end up taking a loss on the play.
Yeah, great discipline on defense, too, because if you're going to stop the option, you have to play assignment football. Everybody doing their job. There was just nowhere to go there for the QB.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. And they have converted their first 2 third-down opportunities, but this one a 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Lavis. Got a man, it's McIntosh. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a 1st at the 29. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. On the option. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. They'll probably bleed every second possible off this clock before they snap it. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And how do you counteract all the speed you have in college football? You chase the quarterback and the skill position guys with faster guys. You bring in more DBs. You bring them down the box. You get them near the line of scrimmage so they can make big plays with their fast speed in the backfield.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack.
Jackrabbit.
They go to the draw. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
I love the awareness by the defense there. 3rd and long, everybody in the building thinking this is going to be a pass. But up front, they were very, very aware that they might see run. They did a really good job playing with their eyes. They rally to the ball, they get the TFL, and now they set up 4th and long.
So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And they'll push that lead out a little further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
And we'll have a shakeup in the MAC standings this week. Check this out. The Miami Red Hawks made it look easy today, but I promise you, there is nothing easy about a double-digit win on the road. And a win like this only confirms there is something special brewing inside this program. Guys, I look at the preseason coaches poll and compare it to where the MAC is right now, and man, what a difference.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And these RPOs always put the defense in a bind. But listen, you give up the run, they get a short little gain, no harm, no foul.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Makes the grab. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Listen, the defense gave up a couple of yards, but they're happy to give that up because they know the clock is still ticking. They're trying to bleed this thing. If you want to throw it over the middle of the field inbounds, they'll give that to you all day.
They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. Wants to go up top on first down. He wants a big play here late. A sensational grab down the field there as they try to at least put a positive spin on the end of this game.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Complete downfield. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it 1st and goal. Snaps it in the shotgun. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Looking to fire. Lets it go to the end zone. And it's a touchdown, but hold on just a second. We'll have to see what the flag's about. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. PAT unit on the field. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. So a well-executed 8-play, 75-yard drive. 30 seconds left on the clock, and their last gasp will come down to getting this onside kick. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Defense will use a timeout. 22 seconds remaining in the game.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
They'll give it to the back. He picks up 4. That'll leave them with 3rd and 6. Timeout is called by the defense. 19 ticks remaining. How bold will they be on 3rd down after that last run? Quarterback on the keeper. They just blew through that offensive line. It's a 4-yard loss. The defense will use a timeout here. There are 16 seconds left to play. Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on 4th down. He is stopped short, and isn't that going to make things interesting? No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Going right to work up top. Under fire. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. Hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open,
he lobs one high down the left side. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
And this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive?
He hurls one deep down the left side. Falls incomplete. They fought to the final whistle, but that's going to do it. Oh, that was a pretty rough showing there by this team. Just couldn't find a way to get things going and come up with the win.
Just got outplayed, Reese. There were moments in this game. There were plays to be had and plays to be made. At the end of the day, they just did not execute well enough in any of the three phases on any side of the football. So, David, moving forward, a lot to take away from this game as they try to improve.
A lot to take away and a lot to learn from. I mean, losses definitely hurt. They sting, but a lot of times most teams refocus and they get a sense of urgency now that they got a loss in that column. So watch the tape, watch what you need to improve on, and go attack it in practice.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.